One of the criticisms of blockchain platforms has been the performance. If we look at the largest public blockchains today, Bitcoin is at 7 transactions per second and Ethereum at about 15. Now, there's great innovation within the space. There's really talented people, great ideas that have been put forth, but performance has certainly been a challenge. Now, one of the advantages of the Libra platform is that it follows a lot of the work and a lot of the innovation that has taken place in the field. And you can see that it starts off at a much higher level. The projected transactions are 1,000 per second, and you can see there the qualifications. You can see there 4 billion accounts that would certainly be able to cover a great part of the world. You can also see the size of the transactions and the amount of bandwidth. They want to make sure that there is enough bandwidth there to be able to reach this level of performance. You also have high performance hard drives to be able to write and read fast enough. Now, the other feature or the other property is that it's permissioned by design. That means you have a smaller set of nodes participating on the network. You know who they are. They are part of an association, and making decisions is faster than in the public space where you have to get consensus through mechanisms that are often difficult to do. In this case, in the case of a compromise of the network where a third of the nodes are compromised, by design, the proposal is to halt the system, to implement the solution, and then to come back. The other part of this when it comes to performance that is worth pointing out, that although transactions are low, fractions of a cent, they do add up. So if there are spam attacks going on the network, the spammers would incur a cost that is projected, that the hope is. Now, when it comes to consensus mechanisms, the mechanisms that have been used on the big public networks on Bitcoin and Ethereum have consumed a tremendous amount of computational power and electricity, and they have been well covered in the press as to how wasteful they are. When it comes to the Libra platform, a different approach is being proposed, and that is proof of stake. Now, if you consider that the normal cycle of miners within the public platforms is to gain rewards and use those rewards to purchase additional hardware and power to be able to gain additional rewards that you could then use to purchase more hardware and more power, you can see that there could be something that bypassed this mechanism and committed a stake to the blockchain network. Now, when it comes to the amount of power that has been wasted, it is certainly tremendous. You can see here a picture of a mining operation, and you can see here the tremendous infrastructures that are being built in some places to be able to profit from these platforms. Now, as I mentioned before, you can envision a platform on where you commit funds to the platform that are locked in, and you have some random selection mechanism that mirrors the selection or the random finding of a solution to the puzzle that is done on proof of work, in which case you could have a similar type of reward. Now, within this selection, you could even create the same type of mining pools to try to get more stability on your returns. So this is certainly an environmentally friendlier solution, but it's also one that would be a lot more performant. This is not the only solution that exists. There's many virtual mining types of solution and many types of consensus that can be explored. And as mentioned before, because it is an association and it is easier to pivot and make decisions, this is something that could provide agility and performance on a shorter time scale than what we see on the public networks.